It's the end of an era today at KELOLAND Media Group.
Our longtime Vice President and General Manager, Jay HUIZENGA, retired today.
In tonight's Eye on KELOLAND, Dan SANTELLA gives you a look at Jay's legacy through the eyes of the people who know him well.
From the top story to commercial breaks and content online, it takes a team of people to bring you the news. At the top of the chain of command at KELO is our station's general manager. Jay HUIZENGA has served in this role since 2007. His most proud accomplishment is maintaining the legacy he inherited from predecessors.
There's no question about that. That is my most proud thing, and that's what we try to teach here to anyone that comes in.
He's always remembered the legacy of the station, and so he's always said to keep one foot in the past but always be moving ahead to the future. And so he's never forgotten what the legacy of KELOLAND is.
Jay's journey as a part of KELOLAND Media Group began back in 1980 as a local account executive. He eventually became general sales manager.
I started in the sales department, and by the time I got to be general manager, there had been a few general managers and quite a few things that had been done before that.
A lot has happened in the past 4 decades.
We went all the way from having no internet, no website, to developing a website and having it be the website that is so phenomenal today. We've gone from standard definition to high definition. We've gone from analog to digital in terms of broadcasting.
He's always tried to make himself available. One example of that is when KELO TV first went digital. There was an elderly woman that he got a call from, and she was unable to get her TV to work. So he stopped there on his way home from work one day and went into her home and helped her get her TV all set up.
His wife also shares a story of when a KELO tower blew over in 2010.
The tribal leaders notified Jay that they would not like it rebuilt on their sacred land. And he took that very personally and made it a personal mission to be sure that that wish was accomplished.
I think the most important part of his legacy is that he was always confident in his decisions. Everything he did was for the greater good. He has an uncanny ability to kind of see how things are going to turn out in the end.
You can't accurately tell the story of Jay's legacy here without including other people too.
One thing that Jay and I talk about all the time is that KELO is bigger than one person.
A thing like KELOLAND is bigger than all of us. And so you just try to be a very good caretaker of that, use the platform for good, and make sure we continue to do local news.
Thanks to the people who started the station, thanks to those who came before us, they built such a strong legacy for us that we really just need to uphold it and keep it modern and innovate upon it. You know, I think when they started the station, they could have never imagined digital. They could have never imagined all the different ways we would gather and produce content.
Today, the station celebrated his retirement. Perry Sook, chairman, president, and CEO of KELOLAND Media Group's parent company, Nexstar Media Group, was on hand.
Jay is the kind of general manager that we want, active in the community, known in civic and charitable organizations.
Jay says his next steps aren't entirely clear.
People have asked me what I'm going to do next, and the answer is I don't know. I'm going to get up Friday and find out.
There's at least one plan, though.
I've never been a fisherman, and I'm going to take my grandson fishing because we both want to learn together, so that's going to be fun.
Institutions become what they are because of the people who connect the past to the future.
I've tried to build on what the founders of this company did, and I'm really proud of the fact that I got that done, and I've left it in the kind of shape that it's ready to be taken over by the next person.
With Eye on KELOLAND, I'm Dan SANTELLA.
All of us here at KELOLAND Media Group wish Jay the very best in his retirement. Have a good life.
Yeah, congratulations on 40 years. Well, the Lincoln High School football team is